The live action Avatar The Last Airbender series will be removing significant parts of Sokka's personality, mainly the ones that Netflix deems, quote, sexist. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. This is over at thatparkplace.com. Indeed, the actress Kiawentiio Tarbell, who plays Sokka's sister Katara in the live action show, said this to Entertainment Weekly. I feel like we also took out the element of how sexist Sokka was. I feel like there were a lot of moments in the original show that were iffy. Ian Ousley, who plays Sokka, concurred, saying, yeah, totally. There are things that were redirected just because it might play a little differently in live action. So it's unclear exactly what the two are referring to, but Entertainment Weekly's Nick Romano pointed to comments Sokka makes about the differences between men and women, such as girls are better at fixing pants than guys, and guys are better at hunting and fighting. There's a clip here titled Sexism in Avatar The Last Airbender, which is probably the things that the show probably takes issue with as well. So it includes that scene with Sokka saying that girls are better at fixing pants than guys, and guys are better at hunting and fighting, as well as him being captured by the Kyoshi warriors and being surprised because they are all women. So removing Sokka's so-called sexist elements are not the only thing the live action show will be changing from the animation. In December, the series' showrunner Albert Kim revealed the beginning of the series will be different as well. This is what he told to Entertainment Weekly. That was a conscious decision to show people this is not the animated series. We had to sometimes unravel storylines and remix them in a new way to make sense for a serialized drama. So I'm very curious to see what will happen in terms of reaction to that. According to Variety's Zach Sharf, the beginning of Netflix's live action adaptation will show the genocide against the Airbender people and the rise of the Fire Nation. Interestingly, the changes that were being made by Netflix were the reason why the animated show's original creators, Michael Dante Di Martino and Brian Canetzico, I'm not how to say his name, probably butchered it, explained why they left the show back in 2020. DiMartino shared a post, a letter on his blog, and he said in a joint announcement for the series, Netflix said that it was committed to honoring our vision for this retelling and to supporting us on creating the series. And we expressed how excited we were for the opportunity to be at the helm. Unfortunately, things did not go as we had hoped. I realized I couldn't control the creative direction of the series, but I could control how I responded, so I chose to leave the project. It was the hardest professional decision I've ever had to make, and certainly not one that I took lightly, but it was necessary for my happiness and creative integrity. And who knows? Netflix's live action adaptation of Avatar has the potential to be good. It might turn out to be a show many of you end up enjoying. But what I can be certain about is that whatever version ends up on screen, it will not be what Brian and I had envisioned or intended to make. And then so Kunitsuko, I'm not sure. Again, I don't know how to say it. He had this post on Instagram. We can read it right here. It says, before I get to the crux of this statement, I would like to make it clear that I'm very aware and appreciative of the fact that I'm in an exceedingly fortunate position and that the following issues are indeed good problems to have, even more so now that we are in the grips of a global pandemic and a cratering economy, which have left millions unemployed, yada, yada, yada. Michael DiMartino and I recently chose to leave Netflix's live-action adaptation of Avatar The Last Airbender, the series he and I created together in 2002. We will have no involvement in the project moving forward. He says, this is probably the most difficult decision I've ever made, but there is no doubt in my mind it was obviously the right choice. When Netflix brought me on board to run this series alongside Mike 2 years ago, they made a very public promise to support our vision. Unfortunately, there was no follow through on that promise. Though I got to work with some great individuals, both on Netflix's side and on our own small development team, the general handling of the project created what I felt was a negative and unsupportive environment. To be clear, this was not a simple matter of us not getting our way. Mike and I are collaborative people. We did not need all of the ideas to come from us. As long as we felt those ideas were in line with the spirit and integrity of Avatar, we would have happily embraced them. However, we ultimately came to the belief that we would not be able to meaningfully guide the direction of the series. Though I am profoundly disappointed by how things turned out, there are wonderfully talented people who are still working on the series, some of whom Mike and I personally hired and got to know well during our time on the project. We worked very hard together towards a shared dream of how special this adaptation could be. I want to see them employed, and I hope they get the chance to do their best work on the series. Perhaps the team that remains might still be able to make something fans of the original and an entirely new audience can enjoy. By and large, I have an incredibly charmed career, and I am very grateful for it. And I am enormously lucky for the amazing global community of fans that has grown around the shows Mike and I have created and run together. I will continue to be deeply involved in the Avatar universe, telling the stories my partner and I want to tell in the way we want to tell them. I will put my time, energy, and talents toward the projects that give me the most fulfillment and where I am afforded trust and respect. So that is what he had to say. Obviously, they did not feel that their creative vision was being honored by Netflix, and they stepped away. And we have confirmation that they are making significant changes from the show. They're changing the personality of Sokka, removing the so-called sexist elements of the character. We are also seeing a change, obviously, in the beginning of the show as well, that they will be showing the genocide of the Airbender people and the rise of the Fire Nation. And probably, it sounds like, based on what we saw from Kinetsuko and DiMartino, that they will be changing a lot of other things as well. But let me know what you guys make of this. What do you make of them removing these so-called sexist elements from Sokka? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.